What's up, guys? You can see where I am right now. So here we are. This is my grandma's grave. This is what it looks like. This is something that's very personal to me. I debated whether I wanted to put this out there or not, but I figured, you know what? It's been now almost 2 years since my grandma's been gone, and her burial has almost been completely covered by grass, and it almost like blends in with everybody else's here. And you know, I whether I like to admit it or not, I do share my personal life. I don't share absolutely everything for obvious reasons, but I wanted to share this with you guys because my grandma was special to my channel, and I know that I never did any videos with my grandma, or she was never on the channel, or you guys never really saw her, but my grandma, like, behind the scenes was like the most supportive person, and I've never really told anybody this. Out of everybody in my family, my grandma was the only one that supported me in what I was doing in my YouTube channel. She supported me in doing YouTube videos. She was the only fucking person who understood me. And that's what hurt the most about losing my grandma, was that I lost that one person that supported me and loved me unconditionally, and I don't have anybody else like that in my life. Like, don't get me wrong, my family supports me, but there was nobody like my grandma, man. Like, the sole reason why I ended the 2K14 Universe series was because of my grandma, because most of those episodes, as I've stated in the video, took place at her house, and like every time I would be recording, I would be going wild, like being excited about the matches and stuff, doing my commentary, and my grandma would always like open the door to see what crazy thing I was up to, and she would always look in and she would smile. My grandma would laugh at me going so wild, and when I was done, my grandma would ask me about what I was playing and what I was recording, and I would always tell her about my channel, and I would tell her about you guys. And my grandma thought it was so awesome that I had an audience and that I had the following that I have. And like, I've shown my grandma some of my videos. I've shown her streams that have had you guys on it with all the comments from you guys, and shown her all the support that I have, even though my channel is nowhere close to being one of the biggest channels on the site. It's nowhere close to that, but what I have is more than a lot of people can say that they have on this website. And my grandma was excited for me, and my grandma was proud of me for the following and the stuff that I've done on this channel. And my grandma, like, thought it was so cool that I have all of you guys supporting me. And I know I can be an asshole sometimes, or I roast people, or I make jokes or anything like that, but it's just all in good fun. Sometimes I say some outlandish things. It's just something that runs in my family. I do got a little bit of a mouth on me, but it usually only comes out during like games or anything like that, or like wrestling related stuff. But yeah, my grandma was more integral to this channel than people realize. Sorry if it sounds windy. It's windy as hell out here right now. It's cold as hell, but I came up here to visit my grandma's grave, and it's still tough coming up here. It never gets any easier. And I hate the fact that this is kind of the first time I'm showing my grandma on this channel, and it sucks it has to be this way and in this capacity. But I really just wanted to let everybody know, like, how proud of this channel my grandma was, and how big of a part my grandma played in this channel. And like, the reason I would do a lot of videos when I was at her house was, like, one, because obviously I wanted to do videos and have fun, but two was because, like, my grandma would always, like, not to sound ignorant, but my grandma was quite the nosy person, to be honest. but like in a good way. My grandma would always be wondering what kind of crazy thing I'd be up to, or like if she ever heard me yelling about something, my grandma knew I was doing a video for online stuff, and she didn't really understand it, but my grandma always supported me unconditionally in anything that I've ever done. And now I can't lie to you guys, sometimes it's really hard to do this channel and not having that kind of support anymore. Sometimes it's really hard to sit down and make videos like without having my grandma supporting me or anything like that, and just knowing that I don't have that kind of support anymore. And I know I have the support from you guys. This is such a freaking tough video to make. Sometimes it can get really difficult for me to sit down and do videos, but sometimes I make myself do it because I realize that I'll be like, I need to do this, I need to have fun, people are wanting me to upload, and I have all these ideas in my head of stuff I want to do, but sometimes it's just either I work a lot, or like videos like skits and stuff. It's hard. It is very, very hard for me to get together with Brandon and Tony now because of our conflicting work schedules. So that's why the skits are far and few between and like stuff like that. That's why there's so much stuff with Austin, because it's easier to, like, Austin lives in Missouri, I live in Ohio, and it's easier to like just hop on a PS4 party with Austin and record some dumb shit, like, than it is like to hang out with people in person. And that's nothing against my friends or anything, and they understand, like literally now every time me and Brandon hang out, we have to like plan it out to when we're both going to be off, and we have to request off or something like that. And it sucks that it's that way. It sucks it's not like it used to be where we could just hang out whenever we wanted to. But yeah, man, sometimes it really is kind of tough to do this channel, but I do it nevertheless. And I really want to thank Austin for what he's done lately, because like doing all these reviews and stuff with Austin has really helped me with how I've been feeling lately. I've been feeling a little down. I always feel down this time of year now because the holidays are just rough to get through now without my grandma. Like, it is such like a big like gap in our family now. It is a noticeable like spot that is empty at the table. It is like we all try the best we can to get through it, but it is something that like everybody knows. It just feels like it's wrong. It feels like someone's missing. And it's going to take us a long time before things are going to feel right again, before it won't feel like my grandma's missing anymore. And yeah, here's my grandma's headstone. My grandma's name was Carolyn, for anyone wondering. She was born 1943 and died September 17th, 2019, the day after my 21st birthday. And when I tell you that was the hardest birthday I've ever had to get through, the first time I've ever had to have my birthday in a hospital room because my grandma was dying, but I wanted my grandma to be able to be there. So that's why we did it there. And I'm really glad that my grandma got to be there for my 21st birthday. My grandma got to see me turn into a man. I still do have some growing up to do, as everybody does, but I'm glad that my grandma got to see the little boy that she raised from pretty much birth till around 11. I'm glad she got to see that little boy grow up and turn into a man before she passed. And I'm glad that she got to see me graduate high school, and I'm glad that she got to see me get straight A's my final year. And I'm glad that my grandma was able to be so proud of what I became, because a lot of times I wasn't proud of myself, and a lot of times I was really hard on myself, and a lot of times I've hated myself, and I just think like, what the fuck am I doing with this YouTube shit? Or sometimes I'll think like, what am I doing at my job? Like, this is not what I want. Or like sometimes I'll just be sitting there like, this is like not the life I want to live. And a lot of times my grandma has pulled me back to reality and would tell me the things I've accomplished and how proud she was. And my grandma would make me realize that I've done a lot more than I thought I have, and I've been more successful than I give myself credit for. And my grandma would always show me and everybody else around her nothing but love, and it is still so difficult without my grandma here. Like, we're trying the best we can, but to be honest, my family is lost without my grandma, and we're still picking up the pieces, and we're still trying to fit all of our lives back together, because when my grandma passed, that shattered like our whole family. That's how important my grandma was. Even like people that my grandma hadn't seen in like 30 years like felt it, and they came to her funeral and stuff. Now granted, that kind of made me mad because it's like you pick now to show up, but anyway, I'm just saying, like, my grandma was the kind of person where, like, if anybody in our family had like a marriage that got a divorce, or like even ex-boyfriends or girlfriends of people, my grandma would still send those people Christmas cards and birthday cards every single year, even though they weren't part of the family anymore. My grandma considered them part of the family for life. And that's the kind of person my grandma was. My grandma was honestly the best person I ever knew in my life. And now looking at it, looking at this tombstone all this time later, over a year since my grandma passed, it's still so hard on me. And it just doesn't get any easier the more I think about my grandma. But it's a part of life, man. You lose people and you have to move on. But I'll never forget my grandma and what she did for me and what she did for this channel, and how much my grandma thought this channel and all of you guys supporting me was so cool. And like, it was something that my grandma had never seen before. My grandma never had like a following on anything. My grandma has never had social media. My grandma has never really even been on the internet, and she thought it was so cool to see her grandson get all these viewers and to have all these people comment and supporting me on these videos. She thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And my grandma thought it would be the funniest thing in the world when I would be recording something at her house and she would just be laughing it up. And she was really truly the only person in this world that ever understood me. And it's so hard to not have that now. I appreciate, all my viewers and everybody that I call friends. I appreciate everybody in BWGP. I love you guys to death. I appreciate Austin, Messiah. I love you guys to death. Mateo, Braden, PewDiePie, Creepy Guy. Everybody who always comes to the streams, I love you guys to death, and I appreciate you guys for not only being a part of this channel, but being a part of my life. And like, just really a lot of times being the reason that I still do my channel, and a lot of times the reason that I'm still even here, because there was sometimes we all get there where we get down low in our life, and a lot of times my friends and my channel is what stopped me from doing something drastic, and I'm forever grateful and thankful for that. And I just really, in this video, wanted you guys to know how much my grandma truly meant to this channel, and how much she truly meant to me, and what she thought of you guys. Because I'd never, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just because of a mental thing, I just haven't been able to, or I just didn't want to, but I really wanted to film this video and like show you guys this, and I wanted to tell you guys how much my grandma thought that what I'm doing on my channel, and how much she thought that you guys were so cool. Like, my grandma would tell me all the time, she would be like, I think it's so cool that you have people that watch you and people that comment on your stuff. And she would say it's kind of like, she said when she listens to me doing videos, that it's kind of like I'm doing a radio show in my room. for an audience. That's what she said it reminded her of, because you have to think during her time, before TV and all that kind of stuff, at least mainstream TV and internet, my grandma listened to a lot of radio, and she said it reminded her of that, and it reminded her of like cool people that had audiences that they talked to. But for her to actually see the comments and to see the support, like, really made my grandma proud of me, and she really thought that it was so cool that all of you guys watch her grandson. And I just really wanted to share that with you guys. But I'm gonna get going. Rest in peace, Grandma. Thank you for always supporting me on this channel, and thank you everybody who watches this channel and comments, and all my friends and family and everybody. Thank you so much. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I'll see you next time.